Hi buddy, it's Cyclone. Today we're gonna see what's the difference between all the blades V8 and V9. Let's go. So this video is not about a particular model, it's really about the blade as a whole, V8 versus the blade as a whole, V9. And so there's a bit of difference between those two rackets, and so let's see what are the differences. So after trying most of those two rackets, so talking about the 104, the 100L, the 100 UL, the 100, the 98, 16 by 19 and 18 by 20, I think we can now talk about all those two differences. So let's start with the V8. So what the V8 was bringing to the market was this 45 technology that was made to increase the feeling. We had a really big difference compared to the V7 because this one was really flexible, really comfortable overall to play with. The only downside that I had with this model was the fact that it was too flexible, so that was lacking a bit of stability. And so this is my racket. So when I bought it, I was forced to use lead tape at 3 and 9 to increase the stability of this racket. And overall, I felt like it was lacking a bit of swing weight, if my memory is right. But yeah, you know, it was lacking a bit of something, but overall, it was a really fun racket. On the other side, we have the V9. Unfortunately, I don't have any V9 with me right now, but those V9 are bringing the stable feel technology. So basically what it's doing, it's increasing the stability. So if you're thinking about it, they just basically improved the stability of this version and called it a V9. And they also have the easy, I don't know how they call it, like click up or something like that, grommet. But I would say that, you know, those things are not really made for you, but more made for stringer. And so it doesn't really impact, you know, the fact that, let's say I'm buying a V8 and I'm like, oh, I should buy the V9 because it has the easy grommet system. No, it doesn't really make a difference. So the difference between those two rackets are pretty, you know, there's not a lot of difference. Let's put it that way. But let's go on the court and let's find it out.
On the court with the Wilson Blade V9, the first thing that I felt was, yes, there's a bit more stability thanks to the stable feel technology. But the other thing that I felt is because they've increased the stability of the racket, you feel like this racket has a bigger sweet spot overall. And no matter what racket it is, so the 98, 18 by 20, 16 by 19, or even 100 square inch head size racket, even on the serve, you know, it's pretty powerful and pretty easy. So a bit easier to play now that the V9 is out. So if you're curious to try a blade, but you think that, you know, maybe this one is a bit too much control oriented, try this V9 because the V8 is a bit more flexible, the sweet spot is a bit smaller, and it's a bit tougher to get a lot of power. So there's a lot of room for customization, but there's also a lot of room to increase the power of this racket because I would say that it's pretty low. But it's not that tough to play with, so it's a good mix between, you know, control, but at the same time pretty easy to play with. But like I said, you know, the V8 has a really weird feeling with the flexibility of the racket with the low swing weight. So yeah, a good racket, but just a unique racket also. So just be aware of it before you buy it.
So should you go with the V9 or instead pay a bit less to go with the V8? I would say that if you want to have a flexible racket and you don't care about customizing your racket to increase the stability and the swing weight, you should definitely go with the V8 because it's a good platform racket. On the other side, if you want to have a more stable racket right off the bat with a bit, I wouldn't say easy power, but just overall I feel like the feel is right, you know, it's not like too mushy, too flexible. You have the right mix, so it's like basically it's normal, it's the evolution of the V8. So yeah, I would go with the V9. So if you had to choose between the V8 or the V9, which one would you choose? Let me know in the comment section down below. Don't forget to like, to comment and to subscribe, and see you next time. Bye bye.